What is going on, YouTube Nation? This is Dark Dividend. If you guys are new to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. So Pfizer stock, there's some recent news about these guys, and they are always in demand. I'm going to go over a few products that they bring to the table that are high in demand and that are used almost on an everyday basis. So if you're new to this YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And I believe this is a very undervalued stock, by the way. Smash that like button. Let's check this stock out right now. So I have a few things I just want to show you. So Pfizer is sitting at 40.06. So in the past 5 years, it was up 15.81%. The S&P was up 60.06%. AbbVie was up 48.29%, and Johnson & Johnson was up 33.69%. So of these three, Pfizer is a cheap one. Now, if you look at these guys in the blue, they're way down here, okay? When the pandemic, they were at best 59.05. AbbVie right now is 138.64. Johnson & Johnson 164.23. So this is one thing. This is a high yield dividend stock. Anything above 3% I'd consider a high yield dividend stock. Their PE ratio is 7.89. Average volume is 27.77 million. The market cap is 226.15 billion US dollars. G range is 36.17 to 54.93. Day range is 39.85 to 40.36. And its previous close is 39.75. So I'm going to go over the recent news, and then I'll go over some products, and this is why I see these guys as a really solid stock as well as dividend stock. So I'm on fiercepharma.com. Pfizer to run out of penicillin this year as its supplies will be limited for much of 2024, the letter states. So here's the problem. After the FDA first reported a nationwide penicillin shortage in April, Pfizer updated its hospital customers on the expected limited supply of penicillin pre-filled syringes. The Pfizer antibiotic comes in a long-acting form or in a combination of two different penicillin types. So right here, Pfizer attributes a supply hiccup to complex combination of factors, including a significant demand of increases and rise in syphilis infection rates. Company's hospital opioids and pre-filled syringes director, Kevin Martin, wrote in an update. So right here, the company's, as it stands, all doses of the company's combination penicillin syringes are expected to run out for this year's third quarter. Supply of long-acting version and its pediatric dosing will diminish by the end of the second quarter. Of the 6 dosage forms Pfizer makes, 2 combination doses are estimated to be back in stock by 2024's third quarter, and 2 long-acting forms should be back in the second quarter of 2024. So this is not good. People are screwing around with yield traps. So, anybody that gives you a syphilis infection, I would consider a yield trap if you have a little bit of fun messing around. I know I had to add a little bit of humor there, but that's one thing they bring to the table. Now let's check out other things. I'm going to go over a few things. So acetylcysteine, there's 2 forms. Okay, one, it's like mucomyst, so people that have infections, they give this to people, like especially pneumonia infections, it helps with that. The other form of acetylcysteine is actually an antidote, an IV form. It's an antidote for people that overdose on Tylenol. So that's an antidote in that form. Aldactone is a very important medication. This is a diuretic. It's a P-pill, but it has specific things. And one of them is it spares potassium. So here's a spironolactone and hydrochlorothiazide combination. Hydrochlorothiazide, HCTZ, is a diuretic. The one thing you got to be careful is with sodium levels, because hydrochlorothiazide is notorious for dropping sodium. Adenosine is a medication if people are in supraventricular tachycardia. We try to use that. It actually gets through your bloodstream and it metabolizes extremely fast, like in a matter of seconds. And you don't tell patients that you stop their heart when you do that, but it can get them out of supraventricular tachycardia. I'm going to go over just some other ones. Amiodarone, that is a arrhythmic medication. People that are in atrial fibrillation, that helps. Ampicillin sulbactam, that's a very good antibiotic for people that get infections. Then there's ampicillin for injection. Atropine, if somebody's heart rate is slow or bradycardic, we push atropine in them. That hopefully will get their heart rate better. Azithromycin, that is a very important antibiotic, especially for upper respiratory infections. I'm just going to go over some of these. Let's see, Cadura, that's a good one. Ceflazolin's another strong antibiotic that we give to people in the hospital. So Celebrex, this is kind of for people's moods, but there are some other uses. I'm not going to go into in-depth. Ciprofloxacin, another important antibiotic that people take, especially if you have urinary tract infections. Cleocin is a very strong antibiotic. Here's the mRNA vaccine. I'm just going over some of these things. Corvert, this is one of my favorite medications that I see in the hospital. So people that are atrial fibrillation, Corvert, the name pretty much sounds like convert, but it can get people out of atrial fibrillation and get them back into sinus rhythm. And atrial fibrillation, the heart beats funny. And the problem with that is it can shoot out clots. And when it shoots out clots, there's a risk of strokes. So, you have to be anticoagulated on Coumadin or Xarelto or Eliquis, for like a few weeks before they try doing this, because if you have a clot and it shoots out and you get that done, that's not good. I'm going to go over a few ones. Demerol, that's a pain med. That's a big one. They usually try to avoid that. Dextrose, people need sugar. So you need dextrose injections. If people are, their sugar's down and they can't eat or drink, they'll need a dextrose injection. Dilantin is a big medication for people that have seizures. And then here's diltiazem. So back to atrial fibrillation. People that are on, it's another name for it is cardizem, but diltiazem, it helps people with their heart rate get better. You don't want your heart rate to go crazy, because it puts a lot of stress in the heart and you can get tissue damage. Dopamine's a medication. If your blood pressure is down and you have really low blood pressure due to an infection and you're in the ICU, dopamine's a very good medication that actually saves lives. Speaking of Eliquis, that is an anticoagulant. We like that compared to Coumadin. And again, I'm not giving any medical advice. Anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. But we like giving Eliquis because we don't have to check Coumadin levels with people. And with Coumadin, there's a thing called an INR. We try to get you between 2.0 and 3.0 if you have AFib or a heart valve. Usually 3.2 to 3.5. Sometimes they like you with Coumadin. But Eliquis, the thing with Coumadin is the antidote for Coumadin is vitamin K. And by eating green leafy vegetables, you're trying to eat healthier. That's going to screw up your INR or Coumadin levels. So that's a problem. And this thing, you don't have to worry about that. If you're eating healthier or trying to eat greens, and vitamin K is not going to affect Eliquis. Epinephrine, this is a medication that will save your life if you're knocked out. Ertapenem is a very strong antibiotic. I'm just going Flagyl. So people that have infections, some trichomosis, speaking of STDs, people can be prescribed Flagyl. And thing about Flagyl is, you can't drink. If you drink and you take Flagyl, you'll throw up. You're going to get sick to your stomach. Fluconazole is another good medication. Here's furosemide. This is a P medication, Lasix. It's a loop diuretic. So people that have heart failure, and heart failure is one of the biggest admissions in the hospital and readmissions in the hospital. So furosemide, that's a big one. And I'm just going down and down. Of course, heparin, people that are in the hospital, we don't want blood clots, so we give them heparin. I'm just going to go over a few more things, and I better know this stuff because I'm in nurse practitioner school. Now, I'm going to go over these two right here, ketorolac and labetalol. Labetalol, people that are in hypertensive crisis, and there was actually a huge labetalol shortage in the hospitals. That was a big deal recently, in the past few years, because labetalol helps people with their blood pressure go down, and if your blood pressure is up and out of control, the risk of a heart attack or stroke is like really high. And that's something that's very high in demand. It's a high in demand medication. Levofloxacin, that's an antibiotic. Levophed is something that will save your life. If you were in the intensive care unit, it can help with your blood pressure and stabilization. Lipitor, atorvastatin. How many people are on Lipitor? They get a stroke, they're on diabetes, they're automatically prescribed a statin. Lorazepam, that helps people calm their mood. Lyrica, here's another thing. I want to go over this one. And I'm just going to go over a few more because I don't want to bombard you. But Lyrica is a medication for people that have neuropathy, specifically diabetic neuropathy. And diabetes is out of control. So they get this nerve pain, and this helps with clearing out the nerve pain. It doesn't sometimes completely clear it, but it helps with the pain and the nerve pain. Lyrica is a really good medication. And mannitol is a crazy osmotic diuretic, so people that have like all this fluid in their brain, they need an osmotic diuretic fast, or else all this pressure is going to be in the brain and you're in big trouble. Let's see, meropenem, very good antibiotic. Methotrexate, that's another one. Let's see, what else do we got? Morphine, everybody knows what morphine is. Gabapentin, there's another one. Neurontin, like I was just going over with diabetic neuropathy. What's the other one I wanted to go over? Paxlovid, that's another thing. So people that get COVID, they are now prescribed Paxlovid. So the design of, or the end game goal with Paxlovid when you get an infection is to basically stop the replication of the COVID virus from replicating. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's exactly what it's used for. So now this is a lot of evidence have shown that it works. So this is another weapon to combat COVID-19, not just the vaccine. Now we have stuff that you can take to get you better a little bit faster. So that's something that's before, physicians were hesitant to give it out, and they were, would look at the vulnerable populations. Now, from what I've heard, just anybody that gets sick, they just get Paxlovid now. Some physicians will prescribe Paxlovid. So that right there, penicillin, and other medications, and piperacillin, tazobactam. I'm going to keep on going. I could, but this is the last one I want to go over right here. First wave of people that have really bad infections, they call it sepsis or bloodborne infections. They're usually given piperacillin, tazobactam, and vancomycin. So there's a high demand for that. So people that come in with like bad cellulitis in their legs or an infection in their leg, we get a wound culture and then we hang this, or and or vancomycin and see what happens sometimes. So it just depends on the preference in the hospital's protocols. But I can tell you I've hung piperacillin, tazobactam probably over 15,000 times, to be honest. So that's an in-demand medication. So let me go over the revenue and dividend history of these stocks. Look, I'm on P, and this is just the demand for the products that these guys bring to the table. I'm just on P. I stopped at P for you guys. Now let's check out a few more things. So here's their revenue annually in millions US dollars. And like I said, I believe it's undervalued for its price. And check this out. 2016 annually, 52,824. Then 2017, 52,546. 2018, it went down, 40,825. 2019, 40,905. Then 2020, 41,651. Then 2021, 81,288. In 2022, 100,000 annually in millions US dollars. So their revenue is jumping up drastically and almost I would consider it exponentially. So that's one thing just to be aware of. Now let's check out their dividend history. So I'm going to start in 2009. There were 16 cents. 2010, 18 cents. 2011, 20 cents. 2012, 22 cents. 2013, 24 cents to 26 cents. 2015, 28 cents. 2016, 30 cents. 2017, 32 cents. 2018, 34 cents. 2019, 36 cents. 2020, 38 cents. 2021, 39 cents. And you got like a little bit of a special dividend. And then 39 cents to 40 cents. 2022 and 2023, 41 cents. So they have a low payout ratio. The number of dividend increases in the last 5 years is 5. Dividend growth in 5 years is 3.92%. So if you bought one share, you made 1/64th of 4.09% dividend yield. So that's very attractive. It's a cheap, undervalued dividend stock. Now, if you're an investor, I like Pfizer for the dividends. This is why I invest in Pfizer, and they have a lot of products out there. And again, I'm not promoting anything of their products. I'm just telling you what they bring to the table and why many investors invest in Pfizer stock for the dividends. Increase in revenue, increase in the dividend. They're a big company, an in-demand company, and I'm surprised they're at that price. So if you're new to this YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Do you like Pfizer stock? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'm going to try to squeeze one in tomorrow. You guys take care and have a good one. So as a reminder, this is a disclaimer notice. This is not financial advice for entertainment purposes only. Disclaimer in the description. Always consult with a financial advisor regarding financial advice. I do not give financial advice. I will tell you I do not give financial advice. There's always a risk regarding investing, and you can lose a lot of money. My channel is for entertainment purposes only, and I reveal to you my dividend investing journey. Do not take this with any form of financial advice in these videos. I hope you enjoy my video, and make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much for watching this.